Okay, guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. This episode is for sa mga nag-iisip kung dapat na ba silang lumipat sa rural towns. Okay, siguro hindi pa kayo madro-draw sa mga um, mga in-applyan ninyong stream, ano man yan, and now you are thinking na baka rural immigration na lang ang iyong pag-asa sa iyong PR. This episode will just siguro give you steps. Okay, ano ba ang kailangan mong, unang-una mong kailangan gawin kung iniisip mo lumipat sa rural town? Anong kailangan mong alamin? Pwede ka ba lumipat ng ganun-ganun lang? At kung ano-ano pa, no? Sige, bahala na. Tingnan natin saan mapupunta ang ating usapan with Dayanara and Puerto Bantigue. Hello, Dayanara. It's been
Hello
a
po.
while. Okay.
Hi, kamusta po?
Okay, okay naman. Ito it's been a while, Dayanara. Thank you
Hi
again
po.
for being here. Ang kanyang email, yung gumagapang sa ibaba if you wanna get in touch with her after this episode. Okay, rural immigration, Dayanara. Madalas to banggitin ni Dayanara actually in the past, no? Na siguro, for some, it's really better if you take a chance sa rural town. Okay,
Yes.
yan ang magpapa-PR sa'yo. And I'm sure sa mga panahon ngayon na marami pa ring waiting na ma-draw sa kung saan man sila stream na nag-apply at hindi pa nabubunot, isa yan sa mga iniisip nila. Is it
Mhm.
time for me to move? So I guess
Mhm.
first question, when should one consider
Mhm.
if dapat na silang mag-explore o lumipat ng rural immigration pathway? Option nila.
Okay. So, I would suggest moving immediately.
Hmm.
Immediately, like as soon as you finish if you're an international student, as soon as you finish your studies, as soon as you get your post graduation work permit, I say consider moving to a rural town, taking
Okay.
advantage of RCIP immediately, especially if you're not a healthcare worker, you're not working in trades, you're not working in demand
Mhm.
occupations. um this is because there is a list, there are lists ng mga occupations po sa mga RCIP communities, and a lot of them are hindi naman considered in demand. For example,
Mm.
admin assistants,
Nako,
kasama yan sa mga priorities, um, financial accountants and bookkeepers, kasama yan sa priorities. Pero kung titingnan natin yung listahan ng priorities ng Alberta, ng Ontario, ng BC, hindi na sila kasama. You know what I
oh,
mean? So, if you're someone who's in your late 30s, 40s, and your field of, kumbaga, expertise is in business and hindi siya kasama dun sa mga in-demand fields, then might as well consider, kasi maaaring doon ka magkaroon ng malaking pag-asa talaga na magkaroon ng invitation. Just using OYNP as an example.
mhm.
Um, OINP has done several draws this year. The very last one was September 3rd. That was the only one. That was the only draw na hindi focused sa Northern Ontario, na hindi focused sa healthcare. Only one.
All
So
right.
there has been several draws already. Most of them are focused in areas na priority nila. So Northern Ontario, Eastern Ontario, REDI
So,
communities. Yung mga draw na hindi community-based or hindi location-based ay para lamang sa mga healthcare workers, mga
oh,
piling tao. So, kung ikaw ay hindi naman healthcare worker, for example, you're working as an HR professional, ganyan.
mhm.
Tapos, alam mo na, HR professional, kasama siya dun sa September 3rd na list. So, pagpaligay natin ang trabaho mo po ay legal assistant, ganyan.
Okay.
Or admin assistant. So, kung tas ikaw ay nasa late 30s, early 40s mo na, so express entry is no longer a good option. Then
Mhm.
yes, RCIP or Atlantic Immigration are, great options for you to choose from, na baka mas okay na doon ako mag-move. Take advantage of the special draws na ginagawa nila just for those areas.
Okay. Are you seeing the same trend ba sa ibang probinsya? Kasi siyempre si Dayanara 'no, talagang medyo ang gamay na gamay niya sa Ontario. I'm just wondering baka alam mo din if same din ang trend in other provinces na kumbaga mas maraming kinukuha from the rural towns?
Yes, there are each province has its own way of showing kung
Mhm.
kung ano yung priority nila. So for example, with British Columbia, BCPNP, they have their EOI grid, yung point system nila, miss. And
Mhm.
you are in Vancouver or Greater Vancouver, the Metro Vancouver area, automatically, you lose around 25 points.
Oh, okay.
Na priority yun. Pagka ang trabaho mo ay nasa nasa Vancouver, hindi ka nila priority.
All,
And the only clients na nakikita ko na nadodraw sa British Columbia are healthcare workers.
all right.
Yeah. Alberta naman po has its own parang pathway for rural areas. So ang tawag doon ay Rural Renewal Stream.
Mhm.
And yun po kapag meron kang endorsement certificate from a rural community, madadagdagan ka ng around 5 to 11 points doon
Mhm.
sa overall breakdown ng AAIP, Alberta Advantage Immigration Program. So, they have their ways to show na etong mga to, priority namin to. For example, sa Manitoba, kapag ka nasa Winnipeg ka, merong certain point na makukuha mo, pero kapag ka nasa outside ka ng Winnipeg, mas mataas.
I see.
Ganyan. So,
Okay.
sa mga ganung paraan nila pinapakita na, ang priority namin ay yung mga nasa lugar na wala masyadong tao.
Yan. Okay. Yung binigay mo na example kanina, na kapag naka-graduate na, best, no, lumipat ka na agad sa
If you have the opportunity,
rural
yes
town.
po. Yes po.
Okay. Paano yung mga hindi naman international student? Okay. Basta tas ang tagal lang may mga nakasalang na profile sa
Opo.
Express Entry, OINP,
Opo.
whatever. And they're still really, hopeful na baka mag-draw.
Opo.
Okay. At what point mo, let's say, sasabihin yung isa mong kliyente na, wala ka nang baka asahan, baka kailangan mo nang lumipat.
Baka kailangan muna ng LMIA ulit. Baka
Yeah,
yun siguro yung sasabihin ko. Pag po kasi tayo ay naka-close work permit, miss, hindi naman tayo talaga kagad makakalipat. Wala tayong choice.
Okay.
Dito ko nakikita yung mga kliyente ko na pag alam nila na hindi na sila pag hindi na sila mare-renew kasi wala ng LMIA, yung iba ang ginagawa nila, nag-a-apply sila ng VOWP, which is Vulnerable Open Work Permit, which is okay naman, legal naman siyang paraan if you have enough evidence that you're actually being abused.
Yeah. Okay.
And honestly, miss, a lot of our Filipino TFWs and a lot of TFWs in general really do have enough evidence of abuse. Sadly, na pinapalampas lang nila that they let it go kasi they wanna stay. But since wala ng LMIA, they're choosing the VOWP, which gives them an open work permit for a year, allowing them to move anywhere in Canada. Now, if you're able to, for some reason, land in Northern Ontario, and yung experience mo nung naka-close work permit ka is kamukha nung experience na nahanap mo sa Northern Ontario and willing yung employer mo na tulungan ka, then maaari ka makapag-apply under RCIP.
Yan. Okay.
That's another option na pwedeng i-explore if, again, you have enough evidence to show that you really did experience abuse from your previous employer.
Okay. How about those on PGWP? Isang taon na lang natitira sa PGWP nila, wala pang nangyayari sa kanilang PR, and they are outside rural towns. Are they also good candidates, would you say, na mag-explore na rin?
Yes, and as a matter of fact, miss, baka mas dapat mauna ka na talaga, as in go ka na. A lot of my clients that I met na andun pa lang sila sa part na papagraduate sila yung nakaka-move successfully, miss Most of the time. The sooner you know na, oops, wala yata tayong magandang pag-asa dito sa lugar na to. Baka dapat lipat na tayo, hanap tayo ng ibang lugar kung saan tayo mas kailangan. Sila yung nakakalipat talaga. For those na medyo maiksi na lang yung time, 1 year, it's really, an option would be if you're married to have the spouse study, apply for PGWP, and then apply for an open work permit for you. Possible yun. I have clients who are applying for master's programs para magkaroon ng OWP yung dating may hawak ng PGWP. Another option is LMIA, Labor Market Impact Assessment. And there are employers who are, exploring this. And I'm so happy to say na marami po tayong mga kababayan na talagang gustong-gusto ng mga employer nila na talagang tinutulungan po sila, ginagawa ng paraan.
Okay. O sige na, dito na tayo. O sige na nga, Dayanara,
Hmm,
lilipat na ako ng rural town. So
opo.
is it just a matter of researching
Hmm,
anong towns ang nasa ilalim nung REDI
opo.
o ano ba yung RCIP o ano
CIP.
man, ta's lilipat na ako dun agad or ano bang dapat ko munang gawin?
Some people transfer kasi meron na po silang trabaho. We know people na may mga connections dun sa mga provinces na yan, sa mga areas na yan, na nakakalipat sila kasi meron nang naghihintay sa kanila kahit papaano na trabaho. That's smart for me. Kasi especially if you have a family, you wanna make sure that the income is ongoing.
Mhm.
'Di ba? And then from there, kapag nandun ka na sa community na yon, dun ka na ngayon magsa-start to connect with like a potential employer, or for some cases, ang nakakatuwa, there are employers na hindi naman designated dati na nagpapa-designate kasi gusto
Yan.
nilang matulungan yung mga empleyado nila na makapag-apply din ng permanent resident. So, yun yung mga nakakatuwa. So, that's a process you can make that's a
Okay.
process you can follow na from where you are, hanap ng work, land. Kung hindi ka man makaland agad sa isang designated employer, baka magpa-designate sila kapag nagustuhan ka nila, or
Mhm.
baka makahanap ka ng ibang designated employer kasi kung naka PGWP ka naman or naka open work permit ka naman, pwede ka talaga lumipat. Hindi ka
Yeah.
tali, kumbaga, sa
Uh-huh.
isang employer lang. Um, may ibang cases po na nagpupunta na sila do'n kahit wala silang,
Okay.
trabaho, especially yung mga single, wala namang families, walang mga anak, o kaya iniwanan muna nila yung pamilya nila sa Toronto, for example,
Mhm.
move sila do'n, then do'n sila maghahanap. I have seen cases na very successful na nagagawa nila yon kasi they tried, nandun na sila, eh, nandun na sila.
Oo.
So, isa rin po ito sa puwede ninyong tingnan as an option para po maka-move kayo doon, makita din ninyo yung lugar. Meron
Oo.
din kasi mga Pilipino minsan hindi naman sa pag-aano, pero ayaw nila yung weather. Ayaw nila do'n kasi
Yeah.
masyadong malamig do'n, ganyan. Um, ang lagi kong sinasabi sa kanila, wala naman pong problema kung talagang gusto ninyo sa Vancouver kasi maganda
Mhm.
diyan, eh. Sino ba naman ang hindi gugustuhin tumira sa Vancouver, magkaroon ng pagkakataon lalo kung maganda na yung trabaho mo. Pero kung hindi ka mabibigyan ng PR, the alternative is you returning to the Philippines,
Yeah.
or
Oh,
some from your original your home country. So if that's something you're willing to risk, why
oh.
not?
Yeah. Okay, should you be targeting i-clarify lang natin na sabihin nila, "Okay, Dainara, if I move to a rural, town,
Opo.
find an employer there, meron ba dapat akong tina-target na
Mhm,
trabaho or
mhm,
can I just dapat ba ready ano, okay lang na kahit ano, cashier, what
mhm.
ano bang may gano'n bang, factors silang dapat i-consider?"
Opo, bawat isang community ay may listahan po ng priorities. So, titingnan niyo din po yung listahan ng community na yun kung ano yung priority nila. So, ang
Okay.
maganda naman is may mga employers na, for example, ang kailangan nila is ganitong work, pero willing silang i-hire ka for this work, okay, and then just add some duties for you. Kumbaga, bibigyan ka nila ng tasks na pasok sa admin assistant, pero bibigyan ka nila nung, kumbaga, a little bit more tasks na kailangan nila. So, for example, a little bit of accounting or a little bit of bookkeeping on the side. Pero, kumbaga, majority of your day is spent pa rin as an admin assistant. Pwede naman po yun.
Oh, pasok pa din 'yun tapos kunyari again, kunyari ang nakuha mong trabaho admin assistant, pero may task ka, pinagbo-bookkeep ka.
A little bit.
Okay,
If
a
it's
little bit.
if it's not like, for example, a little bit of recruitment, okay lang yun.
Mhm.
Pero kailangan majority, 70 to 80% of your duties still fall under admin assistant. That's how you can legally claim an NOC.
'Yun, okey. 70 to 80% of your tasks, kailangan 'yun yung priority occupation doon sa
Yes.
rural town.
Opo. Yes po, for it to
Okey,
fit. May mga clients
okey.
akong ganyan kasi miss all around ako, eh. Ako na yung nasa
Oo,
floor ako, nagfa-factory work ako, pero ako din yung nagte-training, ako din yung nagre-recruitment, ako din yung ganyan. So, lagi kong tinatanong, ilang oras ka sa floor versus ilang oras ka sa desk? Kung isang
oo
oras
nga,
ka
eh.
lang sa desk, then maaaring hindi mo i-claim yung HR professional na NOC. Do'n ka sa floor. Yung
I
NOC na yun ang
see.
ite-claim mo kasi that's where you spend majority of your day.
So how do you compute it technically? Ano, per hour ba? Paano mo kino-compute yung
And
70
lots
to
of different
80%?
things. So for example, 'pag nakita ko po yung certificate of employment, dun ko talaga siya makikita. If there are 10 duties and responsibilities na nakalista po doon sa NOC na kine-claim mo, and then you're able to perform 7 to 8 out of those for, the majority of the time, 8 hours per day, then maaari mo talaga siyang i-claim. Pero hindi naman po kasi pwedeng gawin na cook yung NOC mo, pero ang pinapagawa sa'yo pero majority of the time, ang ginagawa mo talaga is nag-serve ka ng food.
Oo.
Then that's not legal to claim the NOC of a cook now.
All right. Okay.
Isa pa rin po pala, Mrs.
Go
Kailangan
ahead.
din nilang pong tingnan yung employment requirement. So may mga clients ako na gusto nilang i-claim yung dental assistant. For example, kasi ano yun in-demand occupation, considered as in-demand occupation, 33100, I think, if I can remember yung NOC na yun. Pero you also have to check the employment requirements po kasi, for example, only, I believe, in Quebec and Ontario, can dental assistants perform or actually call themselves dental assistants without needing to be a member of a certain society or a certain
may ganun pa.
qualifying body in
Okay.
the province. Sa British Columbia, sa Alberta, kailangan member ka nung certain qualifying body nila for dental assistants to actually perform, or to actually call yourself a dental assistant. Pero sa Ontario, walang ganun. So anybody can be trained to be a dental assistant in Ontario kasi they can accept on-the-job training na ginagawa ng dentist. So isa rin po yun sa dapat ninyong tingnan kung na-fulfill nyo ba yung employment requirements po nung NOC na kine-claim ninyo.
Yan, okay. And guys, reminder hindi natin na-explain pala at the start na kanina pa natin na-highlight yung employer because in rural immigration pathways then as with other streams, it's employer-driven. Okay? So mahalaga na ang hahanapin mong employer ay either designated na, ina-apply po nila yan doon sa town para makapasok at ma-sponsor ka nila basically dyan sa kung anumang rural immigration pathway. Or kapag pumunta ka sa kanila, makausap mo at maengganyo mong magpa-accredit.
At willing sila na magpa-accredit. Kasi sa totoo lang, Miss, advantage din naman sa kanila yun. Advantage sa kanila na sila ay designated kasi hindi sila mawawala ng workers. Isa rin yun sa maraming, sa isa kino-consider din po ng employers pag nagpapa-designate sila. It's a long, hard process. It can be, but it can be worth it if you're, able to sustain your workforce. Kasi mahirap naman po talaga. May mga trabaho na hindi naman din talaga madaling punuan.
Okay. Dapat ba i-priority nila, kunyari maghahanap sila ng rural town, dapat within the same province? Or is it okay na rural town outside their province, maglilipat probinsya, or hindi irrelevant na ba yan?
It depends po, Miss. Kung ikaw ay graduate ng isang college sa Alberta, graduate ka ng Bow Valley College, for example, and gusto mong i-take advantage yung Alberta Advantage Immigration Program, yung provincial nomination ng Alberta and RCIP ng sabay.
Both.
Both. Then, you have to consider Claire Shom. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. Pero Claire Shom, like the only RCIP community na nasa Alberta. Kasi by going to Claire Shom, you are, kumbaga, hitting two birds with one stone. You're able to consider PR pathways under AAIP and RCIP ng sabay. The same goes for Ontario graduates. Diba? So, by going to Northern Ontario or choosing alin dun sa lima, Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, Thunder Bay, North Bay, and Timmins, you are in a way clinching OYNP, kasi nga priority sila pag nagkakaroon ng draw, and RCIP at the same time. And if you're younger, then pwede mo ding tingnan yung express entry. So, ang nakikita ko po kasi sa maraming mga kababayan natin, dinedelay nila. Dinedelay nila yung move. Ayaw nilang umalis. Kasi either may kamag-anak na nagsabing, hindi, tutulungan kita. Ganyan. Or ine-expect nila na magkakaroon ng draw sa trabaho na nandun sila.
Parang hindi yan, hintay ka lang, mabubunot ka dyan.
Mabubunot ka din, yeah. So, yun yung dahilan kaya sila nagtatagal. They end up, sadly, wasting their time. Tapos may iba tayong mga kababayan, ayaw nilang magtanong. Ayaw nilang tanongin yung employer nila kung tutulungan sila. So, meron ako nakausap noong nakaraan. ang bayad sa kanya, miss, ay parang ang trabaho niya is legal assistant. Pero ang bayad sa kanya is minimum wage, parang $17 per hour. Pero binabawas pa sa kanya yung employer contribution sa CPP sa EI.
Grabe
Which is
naman.
dapat hindi ganun, di ba? Dapat hati yung may contribution yung employer sa EI at may contribution ka as the empleyado, ganun yun. So, parang nangyayari, para lumabas na employed siya, hindi siya self-employed. Kasi pag self-employed, hindi ka pwede sa Canadian Experience Class. Para lumabas na employed siya, shoulder niya ngayon yung contribution ng employer sa CPP and EI. So in the end, minus minimum wage pa yung
Oo.
kinikita niya. So by waiting for so long dun sa company na yun, nawalan siya ng chance for OYNP International Student Stream. Ang pwede niya na lang sanang gawin is OYNP Foreign Worker Stream. Pero ang requirement ng Foreign Worker Stream is median wage. Paano kapag below minimum yung kinikita mo? Yun po yung mga scenario na gusto ninyong iwasan. Iwasan nyo yun na dumating kayo sa point na isang taon na lang ngayon natitira sa PGWP ninyo, saka kayo magtatanong na, uy, wala pala akong pathway. Meron din akong mga kliyente, miss, na kasi miss, naghihintay kaming madraw. Sabi ko, how do you expect to be drawn when you don't have your profile?
Okay.
Akala daw nila, madodraw ka kahit wala kang profile.
Ay!
May mga ganong
Yeah.
cases. Akong client na naghihintay sila ng matagal kasi akala nila madodraw sila.
Ano, nag-work lang sila and doing nothing?
Work, basta meron daw silang EE profile, madodraw sila. Sabi ko, posible po, pero hindi nyo tinignan yung isa pang posible ninyong pathway, which is ganit. Yung trabaho niya, miss, kung may profile siya, na-invite na siya. So, yun yung mga ganun na gusto ninyong iwasan. So, as early as possible, magpa-consult na po kayo. Kung hindi kayo satisfied sa isang consultant, nagpa-consult kayo sa akin, hindi kayo satisfied, contact another one. This is PR we're talking about.
Well, okay. I think we covered enough. At least you have a basic idea of what to do. From here, mag-research pa din kayo.
Yes,
guys, we're not saying that you should go for rural immigration. It's case-to-case basis kung ano man ang best para sa inyo. This is only for information purposes. Siyempre, depende yan again sa inyong sitwasyon. Alam mo, dapat siguro naisip ko, maganda magka-episode siguro, Dayanara, tungkol sa mga anong trabaho ang mukhang, may ganun ba? Or is it too extreme to say what types of jobs ang medyo mahirap ngayon mabunot for express entry or something?
That's fairly easy to answer, miss.
Later on, hindi ngayon.
Sorry.
We'll save it for a different episode. Kasi alam mo, minsan kapag nagka-episode ako ng mga ganito, very specific talaga yung tanong kamusta po yung chances ng butcher? Kamusta chances ng tawag dito, receiver, shipper, receiver? Yung mga ganun, very generic talaga.
That would be a good thing to discuss during like a live Q&A, ganyan. That would be a good thing to discuss during, kasi doon sila specific na nakakapagtanong. Pero, it's fairly easy to determine kung titingnan nyo po kung ano yung fields na talagang hindi nagkakaroon ng draw or hindi priority ng candidates. Fairly easy to see.
Yeah.
In the same way na madali ding tingnan kung ano yung priority nila. Madaling ma-determine.
Okay. Anyway, sige. Guys, pag-iisipan ko paano natin gagawin yung episode 9 for now. Ito muna tayo sa rural immigration. We'll end this here. Dayanara, thank you so much. As always, yung kanyang email po yung gumagapang dyan sa baba. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!